650 crore ago from now, an asteroid dashed over Earth. Clouds of dust covered the sun. The temperature reduced. The creatures that were above 25 kg extincted. The time of dinosaurs ended. The dinosaurs' end brought an golden opportunity for other creatures. And the breed was of mammals. The creatures fed milk to their babies. They also protected them from this destruction. For protecting themselves from the heat, they lived under the ground, and to stay alive they ate everything what they get. And after this disaster, the earth began to arrive at its original stage again. New and the creatures, 5% creatures that were remaining on earth, in them because of adaptive radiation, some changes were taking place. And because of that, new breeds were taking birth. In Eocene epoch, 4 crore 5 lakhs years ago, monkey-like species came, and their eyes were in front of their head. And in this period, an evolution occurred in their head. The dot which joins their spinal cord to the head, which is called as foramen magnum, began to shift to the skull, means the species that can walk straightly. 4 crore 70 lakhs years ago from now, in Earth's atmosphere, some changes occurred. Continents began to shift. You can see changes are occurring in Earth's atmosphere, and continents began to shift and change, and which also joined different continents together. And this is the country in which we live, and it is India. And when India and Asia joined, the mountains like Himalaya grew bigger and bigger because of its collision. And it is the mountain only which we know as the Mount Everest. And they were much bigger, that the season began to change and it began to get cooler. And the ice that falls from the mountain melts and converts into river and goes on falling and began to make more and more rivers. And because of these rivers only, we can get water for drinking. In Oligocene epoch, 3 crore years ago, because of global cooling, grounds of grass began to increase and forests began to decrease. In that period, the animals began to increase that lived in the open ground and which ate other animals. 1 crore years ago, Earth began to take its look that we are looking today, and atmosphere began to change in atmosphere like today, and all the continents were known, but conditions began to change again. 40 lakhs years ago, in the eastern of Africa, a new mountain line took the birth, and it was known as a Grifty Valley. It was known as Grift Valley, and because this valley was so big, and the seasonal air was not able to come in the forest, and because of this, rain was not coming there. And there were living the great apes, our ancestors named Perola, and our family started from them only. They lived on trees and ate fruits. They were so heavy, and that is why they can't swing from one tree to another tree. So that is why they only hanged on trees, and sometimes they walked on 2 legs on trees. The skill of walking 2 legs invented on trees, not on earth, but bipedalism, means the inventions of walking was invented by apes, not by humans. And then so on, because of atmosphere, and some ape began to change in gorillas and some in humans. They were spread all over Africa, and because rain was not falling, the forest dried. Because the forest dried, there were no fruits or food to eat for apes. And for that, they kept the first step on the earth in the search of food. And the species name was Pirithus remedius. They were our ancestors which kept the first step of history of mankind on the earth. Their brain was bigger like an orange, and their height was nearby 4 inches. They were the first ancestors to walk straight, and because of that, energy reduced less. And they can also eat fruits and food by walking. Because of walking straight, they can see far away. With the time, the work of process developing went on, and our ancestors began to develop 32 lakhs years ago, and this is where Homo habilis, you can see, and first time they used stone as a weapon, and when a sharper corner came to the stone, they got an hammer. We got a sharper object to dug or break something. Because they used stones, their fingers got stronger, and by which their hands got to use their hands skillfully. They can use their hands skillfully now. And now they started to hunt animals. They were Homo erectus, that were intelligent than other animals. They only first used fire invention. The invention of fire was a big invention. The fire gave warmth, light, and protected them from the wild animals. And because of this, families also started to begin. They learned to cook the flesh on the fire. And because of that cooked flesh, the usage of energy in the mouth is less. And because of this, the energy began to spend in their brain, and their brain became big in size. 2 lakh years ago, human has took its perfect shape. Learning larynx. Do you know larynx? Larynx means the track of voice was above the mouth, and it comes below, and that is why we can now speak and this is the first time when we can communicate with each other. And after that we born. That is, we are Homo sapiens. See, you can see we born Homo sapiens. We are the Homo sapiens species. And 1 lakh years ago, we can go anywhere. We had flexible hands and old tools, weapons. We can also talk. When continents shift again and again, it joined Africa and Eurasia, and which made Afro-Eurasia. Because of humans, most of place are continents are joining together and there are changes in the continents are changing. Nearby 50,000 years ago, an ice age started. You can see the humans started to make their houses. They were talking, they were traveling, and nearby 50,000 years ago, ice age started to go ahead around North Pole. It started to go ahead around North Pole, and the human then reached China and Australia. 30,000 years ago, humans reached Europe when the ice age was not moving and was at its location. Human traveled in the northeast Siberia. In the tough time of ice age also, human was living. He faced tough problems. We became intelligent and we make houses everywhere. From the coast to the top of mountain, rock, hills, everywhere human was there. Our face, hair and our skin was changing according to the weather. According to our need, we started agriculture. We began to keep pet animals. And then we started making cities, buildings. After that, our tradition started. We started inventing future things. There is no intelligent animal like humans now. We have made most inventions, most abilities to go in future, to fly, to swim, and now there is no intelligent human like us, humans. Now we have born, but this is the starting only. We have to live more, and we have to develop the field of technology, and we have to also develop the earth. And so today, this much only, and you can see how the ape is converting into a man. You can see. So thank you for today. Subscribe to my channel Vedant's Creative World. You can see how it is changing.